All right, everyone. So I had recently purchased $500 worth of Evolving Skies booster boxes. Unfortunately, the boxes that I've received are indeed fakes. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to go over how to tell a real booster box from a fake booster box and what to do about it in case you do receive a fake booster box. These two in the frame are both of the fakes. One of them has a hole in it, and so I'll use this one briefly a little bit later, but the main one that I'm going to be focusing on is the right box here. Now, I also have with me a sealed, legitimate Vivid Voltage booster box and an already opened Evolving Skies. So I'll make comparisons with those two compared to the fake Evolving Skies that I received. So the easiest way to tell if your booster box is fake is to take the booster boxes and look at the underside here. So I'm going to orient these so it's a lot easier to see. This is the fake box right here, and this is going to be the real box on top. Now we can immediately make comparisons with the barcode and the fonts being used. You can see they're just not the same fonts. This is bolder here than it is there. It's missing some text right there. You know, there's just too many red flags for this to be some sort of printing discrepancy. And I know there's different factories that produce different boxes, but at some point it just becomes too many errors to be a legitimate box. Another detail I want to point out here is the folds here. You know, this is more of a right triangle. This is more of an isosceles triangle. It's a lot wider than this one. So that's only the underside. If we were to go to the backside here, generally there's less discrepancies here, but you can see that there's some missing graphics here. This is the real box reminder. And over here on the right side, that graphic is missing. You can see the fonts are different again. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that the colors are different, but I don't think colors are a good way to tell whether or not something is authentic or not, especially in the realms of Pokemon, because when it comes to actual card printings, colors are one of the things that actually ends up changing between printings, and it doesn't immediately inauthenticate your card. Sometimes the printers run out of a certain ink, and you just get different shades of cards. So generally don't use colors as a way to tell if something is fake immediately. Use several different other methods to tell. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out immediately. So I'm going to go to the side here, and I'm going to swap this box out with the one that has a hole in it. So I already opened this one briefly, but the booster boxes that come inside fake booster boxes do not have crimps. So crimps, I'm going to use this as an example. Crimps are these vertical lines that appear on the top and bottom of a legitimate booster pack. And what these crimps do is they're effectively the seal that keeps the booster pack foil around the cards. So in a fake booster box, I presume they use glue or some sort of adhesive. But with the real one, they always use crimps ever since the first release up until now. And I assume for a very, very long time, I guess. I don't know when they'll stop doing it, but always look out for these vertical lines. These are a great way to tell if your card is real. The the booster packs here do not have the crimps, and I checked with a flashlight, and I kind of pried this open a bit, and I was able to see. Unfortunately, I can't really capture that on camera. I don't want to mess this up too much, so you'll just have to take my word for it. But when you watch other YouTubers open up fake booster boxes, I think that'll be one of the things that they mainly point out, is that the crimps are missing. So we're going to look at the top now. So fake booster box is on the bottom, and the real one is on the top. This one's a little bit harder to see, but the cutout here, when you take the booster box and you assemble it so that way it's a display box, the actual cut used here is a lot smoother on a real box, whereas a fake box, I can already tell that these are more of a punch hole type thing. And so these would be a lot more jagged if I were to punch my thumb through here and get this little piece to pop up. So that's another way you can tell whether or not a box is fake. The last way to tell, besides actually opening the cards and doing the tear test, which I'm not going to be demonstrating, unfortunately, but the last way to tell, as far as I know, is this logo here, where on the real box, it's a lot more opaque, and on the fake box, let's see, you can see it's a lot more transparent. So as far as the box goes, those are the main reasons. One more reason, or actually two more reasons, something can be fake, is the actual wrapper being used. So I'm going to swap this out with my Vivid Voltage box here. Now we can make the comparison between the Pokeball sizes, how many of them appear, whether or not they're flaking off. You know, this one flakes off pretty easily. You can see, you know, just from scratching it. So you're going to notice a lot more Pokeballs and generally a lot messier shrink wrap, or, you know, whatever you call this plastic wrap. This is going to be generally a lot messier and clumped up than it is on the real pack. The real pack likes to use seams and they bunch up at the top and the bottom. One final way to tell whether or not a box is fake without opening it is to just hold the box and have a real sealed box on hand just to make the comparison. Now I can immediately tell that this box is a lot heavier than this one here. If I were to close my eyes and shuffle these around a bit, I don't know, let's see how long until I get really confused. I think this one's real. Yeah, so this is the Vivid Voltage box. It's just generally a lot heavier than the fake Evolving Skies box, and I assume that's because of the foil cards being used or something. But that's just another general way to tell is the weight. It just doesn't feel right. This feels a lot lighter, and it feels like the packs are a bit smaller. They're a lot thinner. I'm squeezing down on these. It feels like these would be thicker. I believe they are. Yeah, actually, that might be another way is it's hard to tell, but I think the box is actually thicker here. Anyway, so you've received your fake boxes. What do you do about it? Well, fortunately for you, eBay, Amazon, Mercari, they all favor the buyer when it comes to purchasing inauthentic or counterfeit goods. So all you have to do is open up a ticket for support with them and tell them, hey, I just bought a counterfeit item that I didn't know was going to be counterfeit. The seller did not list in the description that it is a proxy or it is a fake, and I would like a return. So if it's a return not accepted, like how my purchase was on eBay, my seller says returns not accepted. So all you have to do is actually initiate the return, and all no returns accepted means is that they received the notification first instead of eBay. So whether or not the seller agrees for you to accept or for you to send in the return, if they say no, then it gets moved up to eBay support. And so you'll have to send them a report saying, hey, I just purchased a fake box or a fake card, and I 100% know this is inauthentic. Take very good pictures and make sure you include pictures of the most obvious discrepancies between a real and a fake card. So in my case, what I'm actually going to do right after I end this video is I'm going to submit a picture with these text comparisons as the main focus, because I think this is the best way to differentiate. If you were, for a third party, if you were a third party and you're looking into this, not knowing anything, there's some pretty obvious differences here. And if that buyer said, I absolutely know this is fake and here's why, I would have to agree with them. So anyway, I'm going to point this out and any other really easy to follow discrepancies. So anyway, if this ever happens to you, do not get discouraged. It's not going to be the end of the world. eBay or Amazon will side with you. Just be very adamant about receiving the counterfeit and wanting your money back. That's all the advice I have for you today. Take care, everyone. If this helps you out or if this helps a friend out, potentially, make sure to share it with them or like or subscribe or comment if you got any questions. I've been getting pretty good at this lately after receiving several fakes, so let me know. I'm always happy to help, and I check out my comments every couple of days or so. All right, so take care, guys. Thanks for watching.